Hello, welcome back to Exeter Laira. Thought I'd put out something a little bit different in this video. I've noticed I've had a few people request behind the scenes type videos, how it all operates and the overall track plan. Now I did cover the full kind of track plan in a previous video. That was when my subscribers was a bit on the low side, so as I've had quite a huge number of new subscribers, most people probably haven't sort of scrolled back to check out previous videos, and as I've got a bit of plan to do some work to some of the track work behind the back scenes, and I've got to remove them, it makes a perfect opportunity to show you guys how this lot all works. A few people have asked as well, how big is this actual layout, so I will of course show you the overall size of it all, how it all operates, and try and hopefully get it all in camera so you can kind of gauge exactly how big it all is. So a few months ago I did exceed the 1,000 subscriber mark, which was quite humbling to know that a fair few people are quite keen on the channel. Plenty of comments, likes, subscribers have obviously all joined, and no one goes unnoticed with all the comments and hints and tips and everything else. So big thumbs up to you guys all out there who have recently joined, and all the ones that have joined me from the beginning. Okay, so the overall size of this, to give you an indication of actually how big it is, I've got the camera positioned down at the south end, and most of the actual layout isn't in shot. So to give you an idea, from that corner there where the brick wall is to that beam there is around about 7 to 8 foot. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to position a Mark II coach. At the furthest away point on the layout, and you can see it's barely noticeable. So the layout itself measures lengthways at 27 foot long, so that's the back edge of the furthest corner over there. Now I'm stood in the loft on the opposite corner, so 27 foot from there all the way down to where the brick wall is there. Width-wise, the layout is from behind the back scenes. There's a section of about 6 more inches, which I'll show you in a bit. From the back edge of that, across there to the back edge where the loop is, measures in exactly 16 foot wide. So that's repeated all the way around. So again, 27 foot runs along this section, right up to just behind the back scene, where the track then goes into a 3rd and 4th radius before travelling again along this section, which is again 16 foot long, from back edge to the back edge of where I just placed that coach. So the layout itself actually runs as just 2 main loops all the way around. Before it branches out into the station area where the tracks got basically 5 lines, 5 main through lines that run through, but all connect back up to the 2 at the furthest end. Where the point is there is a bay platform to go in there in the near future. Just waiting on Pico to release some ball head points. And the layout itself is all constructed using L girder style open frame. Something which isn't very well documented on YouTube is open frame layouts. There's not many out there. This area at the back of the station, which is the north end, the non-scenic side, I chose not to put any scenery on this as I wanted a place to include 2 sets of reversing loops, so it enables me for trains to be able to reverse and then head back in the opposite direction. Excuse the clutter that's on place there at the moment. Track work isn't down on those. I will work on those probably some point next year to get the track down on these reverse loops. Down at the south end, you obviously got the 2 main lines entering out of the back scene, which would typically send you off in the direction of Cornwall and Devon. And this line that runs up here on the scenic side is typically the line that runs up to Exeter Central, just does a loop on itself and then simply comes back down again. Okay, what I'll do is start with the through the north end, level crossing end of the station board, and I've taken down the first sections of back scene just to give you an idea of what's behind them, and point work flows into there, and we've got 3 lines that run in behind the back scenes. These go all the way down behind the back scenes. So you'll see here the track work for the fiddle yard comes back out at the south end. And that track work just joins back into the 2 main lines. Along the south end of the station there. So these 2 lines here, they obviously go behind, and what they'll do is they'll take the route behind the back scene. Where they pop out underneath the central loop, coming round those bends before heading out into the scenic section of Laira. So the deck itself, right at the furthest corner over there, that actually starts up as being 4 inches above the main framework of the bench. The whole of the station board itself slowly declines down to 3 inches when it gets to that corner there, and then from that corner the track behind the back scene there descends another 2 inches, so it sits on this corner here at 1 inch above the main framework. So this bit here is now sitting 1 inch above the timber frame, where it then takes a steady incline spanning the whole section all the way to the end, where it goes back up to 3.5 inches to the top end, and then the non-scenic side runs along the back there, completes it so it goes back up to the 4 inches. Line that runs up to Exeter Central, that just again sits where it's at the 3 inch mark here, then travels up where it sits another 2 inches higher as it gets to the top of there. So this top deck here sits at 5 inches above the main framework. So it is technically difficult to grasp the overall size of this layout, as most of the time I'm stood behind the camera, so you sort of lose quite a large percentage of the layout size as it's all behind me. But hopefully if I can get a nice pan round with the camera, gives you an idea of the overall size. So there we go, that's a full tour of the layout, and hopefully people who have recently joined get a better idea of how it all operates, and where everything goes, you know, track work that's behind the back scenes, which people may not have known was actually there. So the future plan now is to, now I've got my mojo back, is to finally start working in, filling in all the open frames. Made a start on the platforms as well. So my idea is to get the platform bases constructed, and then as the road itself sits exactly the same height as the top of the platforms, I will then bring all the landscape material into all the open frames, working off the top of the height of the platforms. So hopefully there'll be a video out soon, either showing the construction of the platforms. That should be most likely the first video to go out, and then swiftly followed by closing in all the frames and start building up all the landscape. So I'm going to leave the video there, and hopefully shall be back relatively soon with another video showing the progress on this. Any questions, comments, etc., just drop them down in the comment section, and see you all again soon. Thanks for watching.